Hi everybody, this is my first real video where I'm going to teach you some math. Forgive me, I swear I'll get better at this as I practice a bit. Right now, I think I'm going to do a little lesson on percent. You can see there's a percent question on the paper on my table, and it says 23 out of 40. I know we've talked about this before, but I want to remind you that percent means out of 100. So if you have 23 out of 40, you want to know what would that mean if it was out of 100. So you could keep it as fractions. You could change it to a ratio. However you do it, you get the same answer. I'll just change it to a ratio because we're used to changing it to ratios. If the total is 40, you'd have 23. But if my total was 100, what would the percent be? So I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to do what we always do in class. I'm going to multiply and then divide. And I get 23 times 100 divided by 40 equals 57.5. So that means this fraction over here is the same thing as 57.5 over 100, or 57.5%. So percent just means a fraction out of 100 or a ratio out of 100. Notice you could have also just kept it like this. 100 times 23 divided by 40, you would get the same answer as I did when I changed it to ratios. Now, that's a pretty easy question. What I want to do is I want to put it into context. So the day before we left for March break, I went to the public library near the school and I took out this book, The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. And unfortunately, I'm finding it very, very, very boring. So I keep wondering how much longer it's going to be before I finish the book. So I've gotten to the point now where I keep trying to figure out what percent of the book I have finished. So right now, thank goodness, I'm on page 117. And when I look at the back of the book, the total number of pages is, I'm checking, not about the author, not author's notes. Oh, the total pages is 291. So that means the total in the book is 291. I've read 117 pages. I want to know what percent of the book I have read. Remember, that percent means I don't want the total to be 291. I want the total to be 100. And if I do my magic math where I multiply and then divide, I can find out what my percent is. So I'm bringing my calculator over. It's my daughter's calculator. She's sharing with me. 117 times 100 divided by 291. Oops, nope, that was wrong. I typed the wrong number in. 117 times 100 divided by 291 equals, oh, I've read 40 out of 100 in total, which means I've read 40% of the book. That means I've got 60% more to read. Okay, let's do another question like that. You can tell I like to read. Here's a book called The Bear. And I'm going to tell you that I am at page 141 in this book. 141. I have read 141 pages. And I know that that means that I have read 65% of the book. My question is, how many pages are there in total? Okay, I'm turning the camera around so you can look at the math. Okay, so here is my question. 65%. We know that 65% means 65 out of 100. It means if the total was 100 pages in the book, if there was only 100 pages in the book, I would have read 65. Now, let's look at what it says up here. It says that I have already read 141 pages. Is that the total number of book pages in the book, or is that the amount I have read? Is there 100 pages in total in the book, or 141 pages in total, or is that the amount I've read? It says I have read 141 pages. So I'm going to put the 141 right here. And I want to know how many pages there are in total. It's the same math. We're just going to do it backwards. We're going to multiply. We're going to divide. And what am I going to get with my calculator? Let's see. Bring it over here. 100 times 141 divided by 65 equals 216.9 pages. So about 217 pages in total. Let's see, was that right? I'm looking at my book. 215, 216. See, the book is done at 217 pages. We've used 2% questions, 1% question to figure out how many pages there are in the book, and another question where we found out what percent of the book we had finished. Okay, there's my little lesson on percent. I have posted 2 pages of questions on percent. You can try those. You can send me some pictures of your work and I will check it. If this is not math that you're interested in and you want to keep working on the math that you've been working on in the package, that's fine. Some of you have been WhatsApping me and some of you have been Instagramming me photos. And if that's working for you, you keep doing that. But if you think you're going to like this better, where I have a little YouTube video and then you work on some questions about the topic, that's great also. Okay, send me a comment about the YouTube video so I know what I can do next time to make it clearer and better. We will get better at this together. Have a great afternoon, and also tell me what you think of my dog. If you saw my first video, you saw me walking my dog, and I think she's the cutest dog in the whole wide world. Okay, bye everybody.